What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rec Nation, guys. Listen. So I read a couple comments that you guys wanted me to check out this, not this video, because I think I'm gonna approach this in a completely different way than you're expecting. This is Adrian Carton de Wiart. Okay, this is the Unkillable Soldier, right, guys? Unkillable Soldier. I have heard that. That is a Sabaton song. Sabaton has a song dedicated to this man, right? And I was just in the office thinking what I could do, and I was like, I knew that, and I was like, for some reason it rings a bell. And I think, granted, this is probably not the video you guys are looking for, and I will get to that video because, guys, if one of my favorite bands, Sabaton, they do so much to bring like war history, battle history to the forefront, right, in their music. They are basically metal history teachers, and they did a history episode. They did a music video. They did a song on the Unkillable Soldier, right? Well, they also have a history video of it. I haven't done a reaction to the Unkillable Soldier, Sabaton's Unkillable Soldier song on my channel because I've heard it. So, but I haven't seen the history side of it. So, without further ado, guys, please in the comment section put the video you would want me to check out, or send me send me the link via Instagram. It's at Arius and the Nation. Right, that way, because YouTube hates links. So anyway, I've been talking way too long. So without further ado, let's just crack open the door of the Unkillable Soldier. All right, I can't wait because these guys, History Channel is top tier for real. Like I vouch for it 100%. So anyway, here we go. Ready? Oh wow! You know what I gotta do? I'm like zoomed in. You know what I'll do? Sorry, guys. Let me just bring it down a little bit. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go, guys.
And I'm Carton de Wiart.
What?
Hello, everyone. I'm Joachim from Sabaton.
And I'm Carton de Wiart.
And he is the Unkillable Soldier.
Adrian Paul Gislaan Carton de Wiart was born in 1880 in Brussels, Belgium, to a family with substantial connections. One cousin was a former prime minister, the other a political secretary to the king. It was even rumored that de Wiart was an illegitimate son of Leopold II.
Whoa.
His father, who practiced international law in Egypt, hoped that his son would follow in his footsteps, but de Wiart had different plans. After he failed his law preliminaries at Oxford, he chose to enlist, to live life rough and tough and full of bitter experiences. And he didn't really care for what he fought or even for whom. In his romanticized vision of the war, he considered serving the British Empire, or perhaps serving in the French Foreign Legion, or even fighting for the Boers against the British in South Africa. This ambivalence was caused by his rather youthful ignorance when it came to world politics. I know that the ideal soldier is the man who fights for his country because it is fighting, and for no other reason. Causes, politics, and ideologies are better left to the historians. Well,
What a quote. What a quote. Like, guys, I'm good at fighting. You guys do the political shit. Like, you guys take care of that. You guys, like, talk and deal amongst yourselves. I'm here to freaking throw down. Against who? Who knows? But I'm here to throw down. It sounds like a Texan. No offense, guys. I mean, there shouldn't be any taken at all. That was a compliment.
he first fought with the British against the Boers in South Africa, as it turned out. Because he was still underage and a foreigner, de Wiart enlisted with a fake identity. The British recruiter didn't look twice and assigned him to a yeomanry regiment. Arriving in South Africa, de Wiart got a first glimpse of what modern war was actually like. A group of entrenched enemy behind offensive barbed wire proved almost impossible to dislodge. De Wiart volunteered to dash forward to remove said wire, and his more level-headed colonel denied the request, called him a fool, and most likely saved his life. Broodingly, De Wiart conceded, "War was still eluding me, and my vivid imaginings of charging Boers single-handedly and dying gloriously with a couple of posthumous VCs were becoming a little hazy."
Wow.
His wish to die in battle was nearly answered when he received a bad stomach wound and a bullet straight through the groin. De Wiart respectfully admitted that the Boers were indeed very good shots. He would survive, but his identity was revealed, which got him sent back to England. Although his peers at Oxford celebrated him as something of a hero, Carton thought that it was not possible for anyone to have had a duller dose of war, and I returned bereft of glory. With that strong desire to experience the excitement of war, De Wiart decided to continue his adventures with the British Army.
Yo, he got shot through the groin. He gets back home. He's like, well, that was some shit. Like, I was in, then I was out. Like, what the hell happened? Man, some people are just built. Some people are just built for this type of stuff, guys. You know, I feel like it's becoming fewer and fewer, right? But still, there are people out there that are just like, I am the captain. I am the main character. Jeez.
On July 23rd, 1914, he boarded a ship bound to fight the rebels in British Somaliland just a few days before Europe exploded into the Great War. The irony was not lost on him. It seems extraordinary to think of my utter ignorance of world affairs, but at that, even then pregnant moment, I fondly imagined I should be one of the few people to see a shot fired in anger. And I could hardly believe my ears when at Brindisi or Malta we heard that Germany and Russia were at war, and my cup of misery overflowed when on arrival at Aden I learned that England also had declared war on Germany.
Yo.
Stuck in a sideshow to the great conflict, his war was now against the Mad Mullah, Mohammed Abdullah Hassan, who challenged British rule with the support of his dervishes. De Wiart fought together with Indian and Somali troops to quell the rebellion. In November 1914, by a well-fortified blockhouse, De Wiart and the Somalis advanced as far as they could, close enough that he could touch the dervishes' rifles in the loopholes with his walking stick. Trying to get another glimpse of the defenses, De Wiart was hit, and a splinter buried itself in his eye. A few moments later, another bullet exploded, hitting the same eye.
Oh my God.
Although he was basically blind with pain at this point, he refused surgery, knowing that that was his one chance to get back to Europe. Eye or no eye. His plan worked. He was sent back to England, and on January 3rd, 1915, his eye was removed.
Through the sun and the devil's wood, all the battles that he withstood, born a soldier and joy the war, he always kept coming for more.
De Wiart's request to fight in Flanders in the Great War was easily granted, as everyone was in dire need of experienced officers by then. The only problem was his wound. British High Command did not wish the Germans to think that we were reduced to sending out one-eyed officers. After agreeing to wear a glass eye, he got his papers signed, but then tossed the startling, excessively uncomfortable glass eye out of the window of his taxi and replaced it with a black eye patch, which soon became his signature.
Hell
De Wiart
yeah.
found that fighting in...
That, to me, looks more menacing. I don't know, psychologically. You know, I feel like, guys, it's just maybe it's a trope, but man, if I see someone in battle, in uniform, with an eye patch, guess what? That dude's not a quitter. And he can probably do better than all of us with two eyes. So it's like, that to me instills fear, respect, right? Like, at least personally, right? That's so... Some people are just badasses, man. Badasses.
Somaliland was nothing compared to this war. Curious more than anything, he made his way to the front line as the shelling increased. I was standing next to my second in command, wondering what to do, when he said, "I wish you'd duck when those shells come." I was on the point of telling him that I was a fatalist and believed in the appointed hour when we heard another shell coming and he ducked. The shell burst quite near us and I was thrown some distance. I picked myself up and started to move my men when I noticed a hand on the ground. The hand was encased in a special kind of leather glove, which I recognized instantly as that worn by my second in command. His body was 30 or 40 yards away. De Wiart continued along the bombed-out Menin Road, but when they passed...
What are you guys? You know, I'm a firm believer of when it's your time, it's your time. Doesn't matter where you are. You could be in the throes of battle. It's just like, I don't fear death. I respect it, right? More so nowadays, being a father, husband, you know, like I choose my battles wisely, right? With a little bit of strategy to avoid that whole death, you know, thing, like in front of me. But, you know, you're going to go out when you're supposed to go out, pretty much. That's what I feel. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave in the comments. What is it? Fatalist? Is that what it's called? Fatalist. I've never heard that. I all my years, I've never heard it used like that. A fatalist. Let me go back some. This guy's top tier. Indian Idol. Top tier, I guess, historyteller.
as that worn by my second in command. His body was 30 or 40 yards away. De Wiart continued along the bombed-out Menin Road, but when they passed some dead Germans, he thought something was off. There had been no reports of the enemy breaking through in the region, but before he could finish the thought, the silence was broken by a torrent of German fire. De Wiart found himself flat on the ground in a pool of blood. His hand was a damaged, gory mess. He got up and ran like hell through the storm of bullets back to the lines. My hand was a ghastly sight. 2 of the fingers hanging by a bit of skin. All of the palm was shot away and most of the wrist. For the first time, and certainly the last, I had been wearing a wristwatch, and it had been blown into the remains of my wrist. I asked the doctor to take my fingers off. He refused, so I pulled them off myself and felt absolutely no pain in doing it. By December 1915, De Wiart was sick of surgeons trying to save his hand and had it cut off. After his health returned, he was back to the war.
Dude.
With one eye.
Dude. Oh, man. And
one hand, he attached himself to the infantry. Fighting in the trenches made De Wiart realize just how important the role model of the well-behaved and disciplined officer truly was. His own deeds could make or break morale within a regiment, even if it meant exposing himself to great danger. An invisible commander was not a source of inspiration. At the same time, however, it made De Wiart a pitiless and unforgiving man who valued duty over personal fears. I was looking around our trenches when I saw a man who was certainly not going forward. I asked him the reason for his dawdling, and he replied that he had been wounded 3 or 4 times already and simply couldn't face it. I told him I had been hit oftener than he had, but still had to face it, and to give a little point to my argument, I gave him a push in the right direction, and on he went. I never carried a revolver, being afraid that if I lost my temper, I might use it against my own people.
I'm a hothead, so, yeah, don't give me that sidearm. Dude, I might use it against someone in this trench.
So my only weapon was a walking stick. At the Battle of the Somme, De Wiart was to attack La Boisselle, one of the strongest German-held positions. On the morning of July 3rd, 1916, he led his men. As De Wiart described it, dead everywhere, not a house standing, flattened as if the very soul had been blasted out of the earth and turned into a void.
Wow.
By nightfall, nearly all of De Wiart's accompanying officers were either dead or wounded, and he found himself in a most unhealthy spot and a magnet for shells of every side. He was suddenly knocked to the ground. Bleeding profusely, he checked his body and found that the whole back of his head had been blown off by a machine gun bullet. Luckily, it had missed all vital parts. But once more, he was brought to the dressing station.
Dude.
The day he'll never stray, facing the foes that
After 3 weeks in the hospital and receiving the Victoria Cross for his actions, he was once more back at the front.
Dude.
During the battles of Arras
What?
and Passchendaele in 1917, de Wiart could see how the British Army had progressed. Now it was their artillery that dominated the battlefields, and shells were available in abundance. But that did not mean he was out of danger. Once more, de Wiart found himself caught in a German barrage. His clothes blown into his hip by an exploding shell, the wound went septic. Yet, de Wiart pulled through. By now, not only his doctors, but also the general staff urged him not to return to the front lines. Only de Wiart's
Bro, it's just like, stay down, dude. I get it. You're the main character. You're not supposed to stay down, but you're running out of plot armor. Like, limb by limb. He is the Black Knight from the Holy Grail, Monty Python. 'Tis but a scratch.
personal appeal to General Hubert Goff got him back to the front, just in time for the German spring offensives of 1918.
Dude.
The Kaiserschlacht badly mauled the British, but the front held. Thanks to de Wiart's magnetic personality, he found himself once more in the middle of heavy fighting, when a large piece of shrapnel buried itself in his hip, very nearly costing him his leg. Returning to hospital for surgery, de Wiart found out that his fame as the unkillable soldier had spread.
Wow.
I was lying on a stretcher feeling extremely bad-tempered and disgusted with my last brief stay in France, when a well-meaning clergyman came up to see me. Seeing the disgruntled expression on my face and my one eye, he told me to cheer up, as it might have been much worse. He said he had such a cheerful fellow through his hands a few months earlier, a man who had lost both an eye and an arm. I asked him the man's name, and he said, General Carton de Wiart, and seemed quite hurt when I lost interest in the conversation.
Oh. Isn't that some shit? Isn't that some shit? Like, bro, I'm that guy. Like,
And once more, de Wiart returned to the war in October, but this time only to witness its conclusion. The armistice brought a momentary thrill of victory which soon faded. I think only the civilians get any real joy out of the end of a war and the release from the strain of eternal waiting. Frankly, I had enjoyed the war.
what?
With the war ending and the men going home, de Wiart wondered what peace would have to offer him. But the adventures of Carton de Wiart were far from over. Oh, not yet. After the armistice, he was part of the British mission to Poland, soon at war with Bolshevik Russia. In Poland, he would also see the beginning of the Second World War, where he fought in Norway and Yugoslavia, was POW in Italy, later sent to China, and all of that you can look up for yourselves. Today was simply the great war story of the unkillable soldier, Carton de Wiart.
Man.
Okay, we're not going to talk about the history behind the man now. We're going to talk about the video, right?
Now, listen. So Indy Nidell, the guy on the right, the guy who's been telling the story, he is playing Adrian de Wiart, right? In the music video. Great music video, by the way. You guys should check it out. But yeah, let's see what they have. Now they're going to talk about the music video. So this is like the best of both worlds, from Aries in the Nation, the music reaction channel, and Rec Nation. We like these. We like these when things come together. I love it when a plan comes together.
Right?
Yes.
They've just seen bits of it. It's me in a video with you for the second time.
Yes.
Okay, talk about the video.
The video is a great video. You should watch now. Bye-bye.
No, we went down to Belgrade, just outside of Belgrade, last summer of 2021, to shoot the video.
Warm.
And you notice I'm wearing a wool uniform, and it was 38 degrees Celsius outside, which is 100 Fahrenheit.
In the shade, and we were recording in the sun.
Yeah, but to be fair, the director was very cool about if you were outside for more than 10 minutes, he'd like make me go off set and go inside so I didn't die, so I could do other things. Now, one thing I really, really, really like, okay, the second best thing about the video, Third best is that I'm in it. The second best thing is that you guys are the Germans.
Yes.
Which to many people is the bad guys, although, as we know from watching our other episodes, in the First World War, there were no good guys or bad guys. They were just political and ideological enemies. It wasn't like, I mean, the Second World War, you couldn't make up a better bad guy than Hitler. You couldn't create better.
It's
The First
easy as
World
well.
War
It's very black and white.
Yeah, well, sure, there were plenty of Allied atrocities in the Second World War. It is a world war involving hundreds of millions of people. First World War was a bit different. So you guys are the Germans, which, of course, Americans be watching would say you're the bad guys. But the best thing about the video is Tommy's mustache.
Yes. Oh.
In fact, I want to have a band called Tommy's Mustache. So, do you remember when Tommy was asking for the mustache? Do you remember the day what was going on there? Because this is me interviewing you. You're supposed to be talking.
Okay, sorry. No,
Guys, if you don't know, Sabaton, Tommy Johansson, great musician. I don't know what kind of music you guys like here. This is not the music reaction channel, but we do have some Tommy Johansson and some Sabaton on my Aries in the Nation channel. Just letting you guys know.
I don't remember exactly, but I remember we had to change the mustache.
Well, because I got the mustache to be Carton de Wiart.
We just talking about mustaches
and the fake eye.
cool.
It's a good thing you didn't ask for a shout out eye. And Tommy's like, he said to the director, "Can I have a mustache?" And the director's like, "No, can I have a mustache?" And Tommy's, "No, I'm in the band. I want a mustache. I want a mustache." And Tommy, he looks like a really mean 40-year-old German father whose daughter you're going out with in that mustache. Can we get a shot of Tommy and the mustache from the video right here?
Look at that
You
guy.
do remember, they did want you to wear the Stahlhelm. They wanted you guys to wear the German helmets. And what'd you say?
Fuck no.
And why did you say that?
Because they look ridiculous on us.
Yeah.
Basically.
I mean,
We didn't want to look like shit. And they talked about where we were in the timeline of the video. And at a certain point, we thought, there are quite a few other historical inaccuracies in this
But
script.
Stahlhelm would have been okay. Stahlhelm, because I'm the historian. Stahlhelms were.
I know they would have been okay, but they wanted us to have them for the historical accuracy. And we thought, trust me, that ain't going to make a difference. We are going down something really.
I wish you had said, trust me, we're using Tommy guns, which didn't come out till 1919.
Yep.
So, but none of us said that because it's not a documentary.
No.
I love them. Guys, listen, if anything, this is something that is enjoyable, like brought to us through metal music. Now, please in the comments, guys, I'll have a link to the original video, guys, so you guys can check that out. As well, I'll put the link to the music video too, so you guys can check that out. Or it'll pop up the Unkillable Soldier song from Sabaton will pop up here on the Sabaton channel, guys. Amazing band doing legendary things. As I said, please in the comment section, please put the link or Instagram me, message me the link for the video you guys want me to check out about Adrian de Wiart. I'm mispronouncing that. I'm renowned for mispronunciation and butchering names. So please, guys, please send that to me. And I will see you all in the next video. Make sure you unplug, do something legendary, guys. Later, guys.